You are now listening to In the Trench.
Welcome back to season 3 of In the Trench. We botched that horribly. Anyway, something you could be noticing is that Nicole isn't here.
But she is.
Today we're actually doing something different. This is the first episode. Well, this is going to become a segment, but for today's sake, it's an episode. I'm calling it RAN. If you have a better name for it, leave it in the comments. But it's essentially random ass news. What is happening in our world today that is not being shared in the normal media?
And it is very random.
Pretty much. So we have a couple topics lined up for you today, and actually a special appearance today, which Nicole doesn't know about. So anyway, to start off the day, so to give you an idea of what this segment's going to be like, typically during a normal podcast, we'll have a guest, we'll have a topic, we'll be talking, and then we're going to cut to this, because I feel like it'd be nice once a week at least to be reminded of all the crazy things that are happening in our world today. There's not enough news sources like us. And by the way, we're the number one most trustworthy news source because we won't lie to you. Want to know why? Because we're not political.
Boom.
All right, so let's start with our first topic. Nicole, can you please read what this says, my love, right here?
A Georgia pastor and his wife were charged with false imprisonment after 8 people were found locked up in their basement, police say.
Police say. Anyway, let that sink in your head for just a little bit. A pastor. These are people that we trust with our Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
I get it now.
They had 8 mentally ill human beings in their basement that they were keeping against their will. And they can't say anything. They're clearly they're missing a couple screws. Let's dive a little deeper into this. A pastor and his wife were arrested and charged with false imprisonment after officials found as many as 8 people locked in their basement in Griffin, Georgia. Curtis Bankston, 55, and his wife Sophia Sim Bankston, 56, she robbed the cradle in this case,
For sure.
were running an unlicensed group home at their home under the guise of a church known as One Step of Faith, Second Chance.
That's already, that name, no. That's too
So-
long of a name, first of all.
So they tricked these poor people by saying, God will fix you. Get in my dungeon.
Live with us.
Live with us.
We'll fix you.
These sick human beings. Bankston has denied the charges. His lawyer has said the Bankstons were providing genuine care to people in need. So non-licensed medical professions essentially kidnapped 8 fully grown adults, mentally ill adults, took advantage of them, and pushed Jesus on them. Have you guys seen? I'll put in the clip right now of that fucking retard. I'm sorry for cussing on this part, but this fake priest guy, like Joel Osteen, but it's not Joel Osteen, it's the old one, who said, COVID-19.
What?
Have you seen that video?
No.
It's this fake pastor who, I forgot his name.
We'll find it.
Find it right now. There's actually some
On
crazy
other news,
shit.
I want to ask, do these people that were held in this home, did their family members know about this?
Maybe this is how they were caught. Kenneth Copeland, that fucking fake motherfucker. This old ass fucking Wrigley. Look how evil this motherfucker looks.
Whoa.
He actually looks evil. This is not the face of God.
That's
This is the face of fraud. That was a good one.
That was a good one. I'll give you that.
This is the face of give me your money
Whoa.
and I will buy a private jet and multiple Lamborghinis. And I'm not lying here. That's what he has. You're going to tell me somebody who speaks for the voice of Jesus and
Lives
wants
in
the
a
best
luxury?
for us, lives in luxury? We got people like Keanu Reeves donating 75% of his charity to St. Jude's, 75% of his salary from Matrix to St. Jude's. But you got this guy telling that he's going to blow away COVID, the wind of God, he says, and then you'll magically healed. I don't know how this didn't work 3 years ago. I don't know how we're still here. COVID should have never happened.
Because
Which
the dude said so.
Yeah, he blew it away for our money and enjoyment. Let's keep going into this. Griffin Fire was called to the home on January 13th to respond to a report of a person having a seizure. When they arrived, they discovered the basement door was deadbolted and had to climb the basement door was... What church deadbolts their people?
No, that's
These
so sad.
poor people were tricked by a pastor and his wife. That's why the regular church really bugs me. I have my beliefs. I'm not an atheist. But like, this is what scares me, right? There's these people who are willing to go manipulate genuinely innocent. Sure, they have a couple screws loose, but they try to push the word of God on them. And then who the fuck knows what they did to them? Investigators determined the 8 people in the basement were essentially imprisoned against their will, which created an extreme hazard as the individuals could not exit the residence if there was an emergency. So this person could have died. The person who had a seizure, and these people...
All of them could die. That's what they're saying. If there was an emergency.
They added that the people in the basement had mental or physical disabilities or both.
Wow.
They had cripples in here who had no idea what... The good news is that they're going to be locked away from... They're facing 25 to 65 years in prison, which hopefully they get the latter, because that I just can't imagine. Imagine, Nicole, imagine if you had a brother who was mentally disabled and you found out that he was being kept in a pastor's basement against his will, and he had no way of getting it out because he probably didn't know how to.
And I didn't know where he was?
And you found out that he was in a hospital because he almost had a seizure, and they found him in this basement.
I'd fucking kill the pastor myself. I'd go to prison. Not the pastor.
Thankfully, they're probably going to prison. Anyway, on to the next story. This one's more down our lane. They found a fully intact dinosaur baby pup, whatever, in a egg, perfectly preserved, as if it was found yesterday. I believe they found it in China. Let's dig deep into this dinosaur that they supposedly found. It's about 70 million years old. A wee ostrich-like dinosaur wriggled inside its egg, putting itself into the best position to hatch, but the moment never came. The embryo, dubbed Baby Yingling.
What?
Baby Yingling. I like the name.
Yeah, I like
Died and remained in its egg for tens of millions of years until researchers found its fossilized remains in China.
So it's not a live baby dinosaur.
No, it's not alive.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's perfectly intact, and it's got like remains, like skin, hair follicles. There's things that survived in this egg that shouldn't have survived. So now begs my interest is that we have a good friend of the podcast, Jack Horner, who is
True.
a paleontologist working on Chickenosaurus right now. So I'd really like to know what his opinion on this is, and this might boost his studies tenfold, because they've been stuck on a certain thing. But screw the Chickenosaurus. If they already found this dinosaur, and they can get actual DNA, because the problem they've been having to bring back dinosaurs, they can't get actual DNA. What Jack Horner is doing with the Chickenosaurus, he's trying to reverse engineer existing DNA inside of a chicken and kind of unlock ancient dormant genes within the chicken to give it more dinosaur-like appearances. So if I remember correctly, they got the tail, the legs, the claws, the mouth, the head. They're missing the actual... What can't they figure?
Wasn't
Oh, I'm sorry. No, they can't figure out the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't figure out the tail. They have the head and the body like done, and they can't figure out the tail. So they're going through like a bunch of gene splicing. But this is your answer, Jack, right here. I hope you're watching this, because check out where was this found? Go call Darla Zelenitsky, an assistant professor of paleontology at the University of Calgary in Alberta, Canada. She's in this shit. Go figure it out. Hopefully, the Chickenosaurus will be in our hands sooner than we think, because I told Jack that I am the first person to pre-order one the second they come out. I mean, they're gonna be pets. They're gonna drop like albums.
Like albums.
quick little side story. Everybody, please root for the Bengals this weekend, as they unfortunately have a friend who's a very big fan of Tennessee, but they beat Tennessee, so now Joe Burrow is our only chance at not seeing Jackson Mahomes twerk at the Super Bowl. So please root for the Bengals, because I don't want to see Jackson Mahomes in another Super Bowl. I like Patrick Jackson. Not much of a fan. Now, for our final story, Elon Musk has started human trials with Neuralink. I first heard of Neuralink on Joe Rogan's podcast when he came on and started talking, and Elon got a little high, but the idea behind Neuralink is so massive and important and Black Mirror-y.
Yes.
But the medical upsides to this, if this works, is insane. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of some of the things that pretty much any brain injury that you get, or like spinal injury, if you're paraplegic, you've lost motion in your arm in some places, if you suffer from seizures, if you have Tourette's, the Neuralink, if you suffer from the Neuralink can stop that. If you have Tourette's, the Neuralink can cure you.
Really?
Yeah. If you have spasms, it can cure you. Muscular dystrophy, it can cure you.
Arthritis?
No, arthritis isn't brain.
Oh no, you're right. Sorry.
So let's go through some of the other crazier things that the Neuralink, if performed correctly and accomplishes everything that it's gonna accomplish, can do. Right? So one thing that I heard Elon Musk talk about in his podcast with Joe Rogan was that he said that in 5 to 10 years, humans are no longer going to be talking to each other using their mouth.
Why?
Because we're going to be able to use telepathy with Neuralink or something like that. It's lazy, but it got me to the point of thinking of the theory that aliens are humans from the future.
Yes, because they have little mouths and big heads and little bodies.
Little mouths, big heads, little bodies. And if you think about it, if you think about the evolution of man, we started as these apes that were huge but with small heads. And as time progressed and we got better with tools and we stopped using like physical force and we started using leverages like tools and other tools, said tools a lot. But it got to the point where everything's automated now. And if you look at the evolution, we became smaller, our heads became bigger because our brains became bigger. We're smarter. We can go to the moon. We can create machines that can do telepathy. We can bring back dinosaurs.
We can do it all.
We can do it all. We got Chick-fil-A. So like,
what?
You think a fucking ape can make Chick-fil-A? No. So my whole point here is, if you keep going down that same evolution path, we became smarter, everything becomes more automated. We got self-driving cars now. We got this shit coming out.
We got hoverboards. We don't have to walk anymore.
Exactly. So the need for our bodies will kind of drift away. So we'll get smaller, and our heads will keep getting bigger. And if we're not talking, our mouths are gonna get smaller.
Sorry, I had to change my hand. Sorry for the noise.
Let's keep going down the list of the things that this can do. So it can be an oscilloscope for the brain.
What is it?
Thank you for asking. Oscilloscopes provide visual information of printed circuit boards, PCBs. Similarly, the Neuralink device.
I'm sure everybody wants to know what an oscilloscope is.
Say that again?
Oscilloscope.
I mean, I personally don't think I'm pronouncing it correctly.
No,
I think it's oscilloscope.
I think you're right.
Anyway, they provide visual information of printed circuit boards. The Neuralink device can shed light on many functions of the brain. The side effect of this device is you'll end up learning a ton about how the brain works. I don't see how that's a side effect.
Yeah, me neither. I mean,
apparently,
maybe we'll know too much. And
of our brain?
Self-corrupt somebody.
My fear with this thing, this is the big fear I have of Neuralink, is at first, obviously, this isn't what's going to be. This is going to be for just medical purposes. But as soon as they get it bigger and better and more they perfect the technology, and then it's going to become the new thing, right? That people wear. You're not going to need glasses anymore
More
because
available to everyone.
it's going to be more available. This is going to be the new way of video games are probably going to go through here. You're going to be put into the game. If you've ever seen Black Mirror, that episode with Falcon where he becomes that gay super fighter.
There's that one, but there's also another one with a couple.
Okay, exactly. So that's what my fear is. We're going to be sleeping and we're going to start getting ads in our dreams.
That's no.
Imagine you're sleeping, you're dreaming, you're having a great dream. 15% off Ajax dish detergent. Tomorrow only.
Wow. That's intense.
I'd be pissed off. What'd you dream about? The deals at Publix. Like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to have someone get a spoon, pull that shit out. Can't do it.
Wow, that was a good...
Anyway, next things. This is what I'm excited about. You can play memories and send them.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that.
How do you even do that? How would it create the images?
No, but I don't like that. Because there are people who live in the past and get really depressed. And they're just gonna like...
Imagine if you get hacked and they start just playing the worst of your memories over and over again. Like you're trying to brush your teeth. It's your dog died. You're about to go to an interview for a new job. It's your fucking grandma getting hit by a bus. Like,
Oh my
it's the shit that
God.
starts flying through your head. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either. Like,
I don't like that because
I
if
wonder
people
how-
can look at their memories all the time, they're just gonna be depressed. Like we were created to obviously remember the big things about our past, but not every little detail to make us upset about it.
that's deep.
Oh yeah, sorry. I know it's 7 a.m. right now. To whoever's listening,
Eliminate pain. So essentially, we're gonna become superheroes.
I don't
That's cool.
believe that.
That's cool. No, I mean they can do that because pain is a signal sent from your nerves when something happens to your brain.
Yeah,
This can block that.
I'm
So
Very
in
far-fetched.
theory, you can shoot yourself in the hand, and if you're wearing this, you can't feel it.
That's very far fetched. I don't know.
I mean, if anything, that's the least far-fetched thing that's on here.
Yeah, but that could also be dangerous. Imagine your house catches on fire and you're burning through while you're sleeping.
Well, if you can't smell, see, or feel the heat, then I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
Disease prediction. That's a really good one.
that is a good
It's like, hey, ding ding, you're gonna get cancer next week.
no.
Go get fixed. Go get that shit checked out. That's super good. Solve mental illnesses. Even if we solve mental illnesses, there's gonna be those assholes who are gonna pretend to have mental illness to seek sympathy. Those fucking. Have you seen those fakers on TikTok that have like 12 personalities? Hello, my name is Rex. I'm non-binary and I don't want to be in here anymore. And then they'll fucking switch somebody in their head. Hi, this is a Tat.
You don't believe in that?
I'm pansexual. But they, this 4-year-old in this person's. I do believe in split personality, but I know it's not like that. And I know these fucking weirdos are faking that shit just to be woke.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hate. That's what I hate about this fucking TikTok movement. You have all these weird little 12 to 16-year-old woke people who all they do is talk about all these mental issues they have. Like, it's crazy. There are real issues in the world, and they're over here talking about, I'm oppressed because I'm not getting a discount at Applebee's for my 12 personalities.
That's true.
It's annoying.
It's annoying.
I hate this new way the planet is moving. But
We're very sensitive nowadays.
now for the weather.
Weather?
What's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
I think sunny but cold.
Thank you. And that was the first episode of Random Ass News. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week, Monday, for the newest episode of In the Trench. And stay tuned for this type of segment within a little bit of a more condensed version in our future episodes. Anyway, that's it for me, everybody. Thank you to Mini Activewear and Hillbilly IC for sponsoring this episode. And
Like, subscribe, and follow.
like, subscribe, and follow. Or as Nicole likes to say, like, subscribe, follow.
My brain thinks too fast.
You need a Neuralink. All right. Bye, everybody.